Hello and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to be doing another girly chat, and today's topic I wanted to talk about contraceptives. Yeah, let's get into it. Just quickly before we get into it, I also wanted to say if you want to support my channel, then make sure you give it a like, comment if you want to see more of these, and yeah, let's get into the video. I will be talking about contraceptives today, and I just wanted to talk about them because I feel like it's really important to talk about women's health and talk about things like this. So that's why I'm talking about contraception, and I might do a couple of videos like on deep dives on different girl topics, and just kind of focus on one thing and then just maybe like talk about some other topics in between, not in between, after. So contraception is, if you don't know, the preventative method of pregnancy, and I've used a different methods of contraception, and I also just wanted to kind of list all the different types and then maybe go into some of them. But obviously I am not a doctor, so if you want to know more about like all of these different contraceptions, then I would definitely either do some research on them yourself, or you can speak to a doctor about it. But yeah, I am just gonna start off like talking about all the different forms. So there are many forms which I will list for you now. So the hormonal ones are pills. So that can be the combined pill or the mini pill, a patch, a vaginal ring, injections, implant, hormonal coil or IUS. And then the non-hormonal ones are, oh my god, how am I going to say this? in intrauterine device. I'm pretty sure that's obviously known as an IUD. Obviously condoms, not obviously, but I feel like that's the most commonly known one. Diaphragms and caps. Vasectomy is a male sterilization, or atubal litigation, which is a female sterilization. There's also family planning, lactational amenorrhea, lactational amenorrhea, amenorrhea. Okay, lactational amenorrhea method, which is also known as LAM, and the withdrawal method. And I'm going to talk about all the methods that I have used. So I have been on the pill, which I did say about in my last video, and I got put on the pill when I was around 14, 15, just because I had really heavy flow, which was just very unusual because it kind of just came out of nowhere, and really bad pain and just bad bloating. Like I just had really not fun symptoms which just kind of came out of nowhere, and they did kind of calm my symptoms. Like the pain wasn't as painful, the pain wasn't as bad even, but I had to come off it because of COVID, and they wanted to do like my bloods, and they wanted me to do all these different tests, and I have a fear of needles, so I did not want to do that. So then I came off the pill. Obviously, I would not recommend this, but I have also used the withdrawal method with some of my ex-boyfriends, and I know the girls are just going to be like, yeah, we've all done it, but obviously would not recommend it just because it's better to be safe than sorry. And I think a lot of us learn that the hard way. But yeah, anyway. I have used also condoms as a method of contraception, and I have not always had the best experience with condoms just because they do have a tendency to break. And that could be another story time if we want a story time like that. If you want the worst sex stories that I've got, we can maybe get a Patreon or something going and post it on there, because I don't think YouTube really is the place for talking about that sort of stuff. So definitely need like a exclusive place where we can talk about that sort of stuff. But yeah, I do know about a lot of these contraception methods as well, but there are a few on there which I have never heard about, so I think I should probably go into some of them. But I'm just gonna list off the ones that I have no clue about. And the vaginal ring. What? Like, why? Well, not why, but like how does that work? Why is there a ring that goes? I don't know. We're gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's the hormonal coil. I think that's the same as the coil, but it releases hormones instead of something else. I don't know. Does the coil release hormones? We're gonna have to figure this out. Because I am gonna research all of these in a minute, so we are gonna figure it out together. But no, what's another one I don't know? The lactational, oh no, I can't say it again. Amenorrhea method. The lamb method. We're just gonna go with that because that's just so much more simple. I'm just like looking at these words, just thinking, what the hell does that mean? I'm gonna tell you, but no, give me 1 sec. Okay, so I have found out what all of them mean, and I'm just gonna tell you what all of them mean. So, vaginal ring, which is a flexible hormone releasing device used for birth control. So it is kind of like this rubber circle. I don't know why I'm putting that face. It just looks, I don't know how I would feel having that, but it just looks a bit scary. But yeah, it's like this rubber ring, and it just gets put up inside the uterus, and it releases the same hormones as the contraceptive pill, which is good. And it is usually replaced monthly. The next one is obviously the hormonal coil, and it is a small teeth-shaped plastic device that is inserted into the uterus or womb to prevent pregnancy, and it releases a hormone called progestogen, and it typically lasts for 3 to 8 years. And the lactational method, the lactational amenorrhea method. Jesus, I really went for it then. I don't know if I'm saying it right any of these times, but we're going with it. Also known as the LAM method, is temporary method, but it is highly effective, and it is a contraceptive method which is used in breastfeeding to prevent pregnancy, and it usually lasts within the first 6 months postpartum. So yeah, those are the methods that I did not know about, and I hope that I have taught you about them. But yeah, that is the end to me talking about contraceptives, and that is the end of today's video. But if you enjoyed it, then make sure you give it a like, and if you want to hear more definitions, or maybe definitions of all of these contraceptives, or you want me to talk about more things to do with women's health, then please leave a comment below. And you can also message me or comment on one of my other social media handles, which I will leave in the description. And I hopefully will see you guys soon. But check out the video on Sunday. It is hopefully going to be a good one. No, it's going to be a good one. But love you guys. Bye.